The question was, how did BackPackBoyz all start?
First member was, like I said, was this cat named. I would say it was my boy, but he's not. He's a fucking broke ass bum now somewhere. Here we go. Step one of the process. I hope we fucking making videos months later. Let me tell you, bro, I feel like a whole new motherfucker. I feel like I'm fucking 20 all over again.
Y un pequeño Lady Gaga, lentes en la cara, todo se lavado.
So basically we on our way to San Diego right now to start my stem cell journey. We're going to CPI, about to go to Tijuana tomorrow morning, 7 in the morning. Trying to heal up some of these injuries. If you don't know what stem cells is, we're going to break it down for you a little bit more. And yeah, CPI, here we come.
The question was, how did BackPackBoyz all start? Like, how did you put together, I guess, the ultimate team?
Use the right 2 lanes to keep right toward I-5 South.
Okay, so just start going?
Yeah.
Okay, so to answer that question, like I said, it was never really, oh man, I'm gonna gear up this person, I'm gonna get that person. Like, no, it was just trial and error, who was around and who I felt in my heart was kind of like suitable for the job. Thank God I've gotten lucky in some facets and in some not, but I didn't really know exactly how to put together the exact team that ended up being the reason why it did what it did. But I just knew that we had to be on the same page. It had to be somebody that wasn't that just was just ready to go however far it needed to go. Also at the same time, I also knew that it was necessary because I'm not gonna be able to do everything myself if I do want to take it to where it is that I want it to go. So the team was necessary. But this was at the time when no one was even thinking about no shit like that. No one was thinking about doing it like that. No one really had like a super business mind. I'm not gonna say no one did, but as far as in the world that I was in, nobody had that. Nobody was thinking like that. I don't even really think at the time people really realized what could be done off weed. I know I didn't ever see it coming. I for sure the fuck didn't. I used to make fun of all my friends that sold weed. I mean, you ain't gonna make no real money doing that. Like, that shit is for the birds. Running around trying to, you know what I mean, like this, doing all this for this little ass amount of money. I didn't really know what I knew then. I mean, I wish I would have knew then what I know now type shit. But that was one of the best things I ever did. And not only for the money aspect of it, but just overall, like the things that it's done way besides money, like the traveling that I've done, the people that I've met. It's all behind that. Like I said, I would have never guessed. And going back to the team thing, and
Who was the first member?
the first member was, like I said, was this cat named. I would say it was my boy, but he's not. He's a fucking broke ass bum now somewhere. But like I said, it was someone I've known since elementary school, and I ended up bringing him on. You know, like I said, he was giving me the old pity party all the time about how things were going bad for him and they needed help. He was seeing that things were going up for us, or for me at the time, and I also realized like, yo, like I'm starting to have to run around too much. I could get other stuff done. So I brought him on just to fucking, like I said, get my house broke in by the same cats that I tried to take in. So you know what I'm talking about? How I learned about, I learned real fast who not to bring on, or like what not to do. You know what I mean? It cost me probably over $100K in between cash and product. But yeah, fucking, and then, you know what I'm talking about that, and then fucking, for like 2 months, I didn't know who the fuck it was. And then, you know what I mean, you got the same people, getting stole from, and the person that stole it from you is coming, you calling him, and he's helping you come try to find it. It's crazy. Like, it's a twisted game. You got, you know what I mean? It's ups and downs like a motherfucker, but yeah, but like that was that was my first fucking journey into trying to make a team, was that. And then after that, it was Carl. I used to have a house in San Marcos area, Pittsburgh, with my boy Joe. Me and him started this shit together, actually. Obviously, he's no longer a part of it now, but me and him started it together. And Carl, we had, I want to say it was a total of like 20 lights that we had in the fucking house. There was 2 garages, and we had them both turned out. I was saying one was like 12 lights, and the other was like 8. And Carl was the first. He started off coming over to I met him through my boy Bub. He would come and buy weed. It was my boy Bub's nephew, this, that, and then time went on, and then we needed someone to trim. And fucking Carl would trim our weed. And then it turns into fucking, in between him trimming, I would use them for deliveries. Then I started using them to fucking help me water or feed the plants, shit like that. So, you know, Carl started getting in, and then my boy Bully was around the whole time though too. Bully was around from the jump. Like, let me even bring that back, because if it wasn't for Bully, we would never even have started BackPackBoyz. We started BackPackBoyz behind a weed syrup called Tree Lean, and we was selling weed, but our main thing wasn't weed. Like, BackPackBoyz wasn't about weed, it was about Tree Lean. That's what it originally started off. And so we met Bully Wiz. We bought some of that shit off him. We started pushing that, and I was pushing that behind, because I was competing at the time, and I used to like that shit for recovery. And so that's kind of how I went. And then later on, fast forwarding a little bit, we started having a little bit of problem with getting the Tree Lean. So my main thing at the time was I would get the bottle of Tree Lean, and I would go all over the Bay Area, and I would just post pictures of the fucking bottle in like wherever the fuck I was at, and like just make dope little pictures with like a dope little scenery, like little shit like that. And I would just do that shit all the time. And it started catching on, started catching waves, and I started getting kind of good at taking the photos. So then next thing you know, we're having a little bit of problem getting that. So now we were selling weed, so I would just fill in with putting up pictures of weed. And then next thing you know, like, motherfuckers just tapping in behind this weed. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, damn, like, you know, we kind of got something going on here. Every time I post a picture of weed, it's like, not to say that my pictures of Tree Lean weren't going crazy, but the pictures of weed are really going crazy, because at the time also, there weren't hella people taking really good pictures of bud. There just wasn't at the time. We're talking 2016, you know what I mean, 2016-ish, into 2015, and it was like beginning of 2016 actually. And there just wasn't people doing that shit at the time, so I was coming with it, and it would just make the motion more and more and more. And then, like I said, now I'm like, okay, weed. Like, then we started getting known for weed, because like I said, I would go all around and get all this high-end weed that everyone wanted to smoke, But a lot of the time wasn't everyone ready to put in the footwork that it took to hold all these brands, because some of these brands were in LA, some of these brands were in Sacramento, some of these brands were in Santa Cruz, some of these brands were in Santa Rosa, some of these brands are, you know what I mean? They're and all these places that I'm naming are fucking 3 hours up north, 6 hours down south, fucking 2.5 hours in like Monterey Bay. And it's like, it's hella far from each other. It's like complete different directions. And not everyone's willing to like put in that footwork. You know, some people are cool with just going and getting their one, and you know, but nah, I was going around and getting all that shit. And I had a menu that just I feel no one had at the time in my area. And so it made things really easy, because when everyone would go out, I would never really go out. I would always fucking stay and work. Like I said, because at the time too, I felt like my back was against the wall because I had took that L, and I just didn't really feel like I could fuck around and go out and spend money and go out and you know what I mean? Because I was on the verge of hitting rock bottom, so I felt. So motherfuckers would always be like, yo, like, we're going here, we're going there, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And all right, yeah, cool. I'll probably meet y'all over there later, but I'm already knowing I ain't finna go. And where I'm from, this town called Pittsburgh, it's a really small town, and like everybody knows each other. So we all kind of share the same clients to a degree, and like everybody knows each other. So if you know I got it, but maybe you might be loyal to, let's just say Jesus. You're loyal to him because you know what I mean, like you've been fucking with him, this, that. But if he's out doing whatever he's doing, you gonna call somebody because you need what you need. And so a lot of the time I would already know that when they would go out and they hit me, like 9 times out of 10 they're never gonna hit you again because you didn't have the selection that I had. You know what I mean? And so I just did that for the longest, bro. At the little AM PM and Chevron by my crib, we used to have that motherfucker on fire. Like we go there, bro. There'd be a motherfucking line in the parking lot, and just be like one, because obviously I'm not gonna let hella people in my car at one time. But it would just it was funny. I would pull up with some people when they just be like, God damn, bro, like what the fuck you got going on here? But that's just really how it was. But I understood that really early on. I would try to just always be there, bro. Like, anytime someone called me and needed something, I was there. There wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And like I said, I felt like my back was against the wall, because I ain't had nobody to help me. Like, some of the people that deal with me now and that are around me on a consistent basis, and they get some of the assistance that I give. Man, if you got somebody like that in your life, like, you better be doing everything that you can in your power to like make worth of the situation. Because take it from me, like I ain't never had nobody helping me. I ain't never had nobody throwing me a handout outside of only handouts I got. Like, yeah, I will get fronted some work and some shit like that from time to time with that, but like I'm completely responsible for everything, and like I never took it as like, oh, let me take this and fuck around with someone's money. Like, hell no. I'm the type of motherfucker that, just to make it an easy number, like if I owed someone $5,000 and I made fucking $6,500 off the $5,000 that they spotted me, I'm coming back and I'm spending $64. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to just turn it like that every time. I would always put back into the pot. I've never really been the motherfucker that like saved money and like I had racks and I put racks away and I fucking just like come back to a shoebox or a safe or whatever the fuck it was, and there's just more money piling up. Hell no, I did that shit with product. I did that shit by the ounce, by the half a pound, by the quarter pound, and I did this, and next thing you know, I got a quarter pound profit, and then I went and bought some more, and then boom, after I sold that, I had a half a pound profit, and then next thing you know, I got almost a pound, and that's how my bubble, that's how I did my bubble. You know, I was always that person, bro. You know how many times I fucking went broke, fucking reeing up? How many times I drove to LA with my whole life savings and everything that I fucking had, driving down to pay somebody what I owe and then give them all that, because I know I'm gonna owe them more money, like from what they're gonna give me, and I know this is just something towards that, and I come back with fucking, I'm driving back from LA with $100 and just my whole life savings and profit, and I still owe these motherfuckers hella money. So like, if I was to lose that, it'd be bad. I did that shit so many times, I don't even have enough fingers and toes to tell you how many times I did that shit. You know what I mean? And like and I feel like in order to get some of the results that people want, not to say that like my decision was the best. Like I would maybe be a little bit more calculated than I was, but I mean, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit, bro. And that's what I knew I needed to do, and I've always been willing to do that. Like I said, I do need to get better, maybe strategizing a little bit better. But at the time, this was the shit I was on, and I felt I didn't know no other way, or there was no other way but to do it that way. So that's what I did, and I got lucky.
The right 2 lanes to turn onto West Laurel Street.
Seems like a Sheraton that we're gonna like.
Juan said with the Sheraton, it's either hit or miss.
That's a fucking fact.
Oh shit, this was definitely a fucking hit.
Right on CPI. Started off good. But then again, you paying this much money, they better make the goddamn thing a good experience all the way around the board.
Arrived.
That's if they can get a detail. Here we go. Step 1 of the process. I hope we fucking making videos months later. Let me tell you, bro, I feel like a whole new motherfucker. I feel like I'm fucking 20 all over again. Oh boy.
You got your finish.
But we're closing them.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw that it's here.
They definitely fucking gonna have that. This is a nice Sheraton for sure.
Time is it?
Fucking 6:58. We're about to be here at 7. So it's I feel like I just went to sleep. I definitely sleep a lot more. Oh no, I haven't really been able to fucking translate into it yet, but I don't see how people fucking wake up hell goddamn right. That's just not something that I've gotten accustomed to. I know they say like the early bird fucking gets the worm and all that shit, but I get worms and I don't be up early. got better.
Good. That's a good
That's exactly what I said. 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So, everyone in here that has early morning MRIs, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, it's gonna be a quick ride to get to where we're going in about 30 minutes. And once you're done with the MRIs, afterwards, one of our drivers will be taking you to CPI, where you'll get a chance to sit down with your doctor, and they're gonna go over the whole week with you. But just a couple things. The rear AC recently has been malfunctioning, but the front AC does cool down the whole shuttle. Thankfully, it's a cold day, so we don't really need it that much, but I'll still get the air circulating in the vehicle. If you guys have any questions along the way, I'm happy to answer them. Just let me know. But we're just glad to have you guys here. And as we get closer to the hotel, I'll go over a couple more like housekeeping things. But welcome. Let me know if you guys have any questions, okay? Here. It's over. One of them. What's this? I'll bring it over. Anybody's?
That's mine actually. Yeah. Yeah, my other one's on the bottom.
Push to the left.
Huh?
To the left. To the left.
Ya aquí pasando esto ya no puedes grabar o tomar fotos. Si te miran los de aquí, la Guardia Nacional, te hay que revisar el teléfono.
Made it to Mexico, brother.
We did. We here. We had a whole crazy little journey this morning. Did you get the video of when you came to the one?
Yeah.
Like the one we got pulled and stopped and all that shit?
Oh, no. When we did, no.
Yeah.
But I only got like going to the border, and then the guy was like, put your phone down. And then even on the way here, bro was like, oh, if you record, be careful. Because if they see you, it's going to make it hot. And I was like, nah, I'm not even going to risk it. So I put my phone down. But then I picked my phone back up. Like I put my phone up all the way, and then I put my phone back up when it saw like "Welcome to Mexico" and shit.
Yeah.
So at least get that too.